loves to throw that curveball. You're going to see some tight spin on that heavy curveball, tailing the outer part of the zone.
And so here we go. We're underway a couple hours earlier than anticipated today at Tiger Park. These two were scheduled to play later at 6 Eastern. Some possible inclement weather in the area, so the start time moved up. And here's the Jackson State lineup card that Kevin Montgomery has drawn out today. The SWAC Tournament MVP in the cleanup slot, like she has been all year. That's Jace Jackson. But the leadoff hitter is the junior center fielder, Mari Stevens, who had a fine SWAC tournament in her own right, and has been a table setter for this team all year. Puts this one into play, deep in the hole. Going to be a tough one here for Pleasance, but the veteran throws Stevens out at first. Nice play by the LSU shortstop. So behind Stevens in the order, you got Kalia Gibson and Mia Alvarez. This is JSU's lineup, brought to you by Capital One.
This is a really scrappy Jackson State team. You look at their numbers and you look at how many steals that they have. All they've got to do is really put the ball on the ground and just leg it out. That's what they've been doing all season. That's why they're so successful.
0-1 from Chafin is just off the outside corner of the plate. 163 stolen bases as a team. That's a just absurd number. Second in the nation only to Southeastern Louisiana. It's hard to believe there's a team with more. And that one's upstairs. But this is the duo at the top, Stevens and Gibson. They have both stolen more than 30 bases on the year, so they put pressure on teams in the SWAC with their speed. That is pretty infamous now around the nation. No one misses in a similar spot. By the way, it's Bradley Newton calling the balls and strikes today behind the plate. Lyndon Baptist over at first. Mike Hernandez, the second base umpire, and then Dustin Douglas swings over to third for the second game.
Looks like that caught Gibson off guard a little bit. Wasn't happy about that one, but a really great job painting the corner by Chafin. Trying to gather information and see where umpires calling her strikes.
So it's a one-out walk here for Jackson State. And it brings up the number 3 hitter, Mia Alvarez.
I'm all walked out today, Kevin. We saw too many in the first game.
No more.
No more walks.
Well, that is what helped lead Southern Illinois to the 5-4 win. But they draw 8 or 9 in the first game, and you know that big 5-run second inning is what vaulted SIU to face the winner of this one. Alvarez, the junior, hit .253 this year, very productive in the 3-hole, 31 RBIs. So we told you about Berzon, we told you about Kelly Lynch, the other veteran arm that Beth Torina has turned to this year for LSU. Raylan Chafin, the Bayou Stater, out there in the circle for her first appearance in 12 days. She did not pitch in the Pac-12, pardon me, the SEC tournament last week at Auburn. Finds the outside edge that time against Alvarez. Last pitch twice in that 3-game series against Liberty to start off the month of May.
And it really looks like she hasn't missed a beat. Painting those last 2 in the corner. A backdoor curve just dropping in there nicely.
2-2 on the way. Runner was on the move, swing and a miss. The shortstop Pleasance was late to get there, but did she tag the runner there on the helmet?
The zone. Getting a lot of hitters to miss hit, but she's been their dog. She's been their workhorse, so they're calling upon her.
And so she faces Sierra Daniel, Sierra Briggs, Taylor Pleasance, 1, 2, 3 in the LSU order. So here is Beth Torina's lineup card. Pleasance in that 3-hole. Boy, one of the many outgoing seniors in his very veteran lineup. Nice scoop there by Huckabee at second. So she takes the base hit away from Daniel. Again, that's LSU starting lineup brought to you by Capital One. So Sierra Briggs is up next. Yeah, Pleasance, those 45 career homers. This LSU team, they've got several seniors and fifth-year seniors in their lineup. Matter of fact, there's 6 of them. And Sierra Briggs, the sensational defensive center fielder, is one of them. That's pretty perfectly placed there for a bunt single. 1 out, 1 on for the Tigers.
Sierra Briggs doing what Sierra Briggs does. Has all the tools on the left side. A slap, stand in, even a bunt, and perfect placement by Briggs here. Carlson just can't get to it quick enough.
There's a quick field by Carlson too. Briggs on the move. Throw down to second is just late. So LSU taking a little playbook, a page out of the Jackson State playbook that time.
Saw LSU in right field watching the game before they had the opportunity to play. Peeking over the right field fence.
Pleasance blasts this one out to center. It chases Stevens back. So that allows Briggs to tag and move to third. So LSU trying to bring home a runner here in the first with 2 gone. It'll be up to the 5th-year senior Raylene Gutierrez from Upland, California. Hoping to give LSU its first lead of the day. Now, the Tigers have faced Jackson State 6 times before. They're 6-0 against another set of Tigers. We got Tigers against Tigers today. And they have outscored Jackson State 62-1 in those 6 prior games. So Gutierrez, 2-year starter at first base, been so dependable defensively. Hit .333 this season in the rugged SEC. LSU, one of 13 in the league to make the tournament. There's only 13 in the league. That means everyone got in again. And for the first time in 5 years, the whole league makes the tournament field.
It just goes to show how much growth the SEC has had. It's a competitive conference, and it has only grown. It's nice to see a lot of people get enraged about that and on Twitter, on X, but they've done the work. Yeah. They earned it.
Beth Torina. "13 years as a head coach. She has guided LSU to the tournament every season there's been one. Down the line, that's a base hit for Gutierrez, and she knocks in Briggs. It's a 1-0 LSU lead in the first.
Almost looked like on that ball, hit straight to Almaraz at first base. She's playing even with the bag, but maybe scared that ball was going to hit first base as it trailed right over, but garnering an RBI.
Allie Newland, the number 5 hitter in the order, lets that one miss away. Two-time all-conference selection, had a fine year at the plate. Those 8 home runs led the team.
And Allie Newland's just one of those players that just so fun to watch. See how calculated she is, even on her takes, knowing how her swing feels. Asked her, like, how does she swing so hard? Why does she swing so hard? And she just wants to, and these are in her words, get her swing off. And if you don't know in softball, baseball terms, that's just, you want to rip it. If you're going to swing, you might as well put a full swing on it.
What did you call it? Some granddaddy hacks.
That's what you should call it. Just big, big hacks. The lingo, the jargon of the sport, quite comical, actually.
Great illustration there, by the way, of just the growth of a player like Newland. And in a lot of ways, just about every Tiger in the order has done that, just gotten better and raised the bar as their careers have unfolded. There are so many vets in this lineup. Payoff pitch here, and it's weighted on the off speed. Bounces it foul. LSU won 40 games, second straight 40-win season. They finished 500 in SEC play, which, you know, you go 500 or better in SEC play. That's impressive. And they earned the #9 national seed. That one missed outside. Gutierrez was on the go with a full count and 2 gone. So now a couple of runners on here for LSU after they just scored the game's first run. Mackenzie Rudity is coming up. Salazar is going to face a whole bevy of lefties. This is 6 straight left-hand hitters to start. Look out, Bryce Neal, first base coach for LSU. Rudity, the junior from Franklin, North Carolina. He's been a 3-year starter in the outfield for LSU. That one misses low and away. LSU got off to a 24-0 start. They rose to as high as #2 in a lot of national polls. This one's to the right side, and it's a base hit. Throw to the plate in time, and a great throw from Gibson in right. They tag out Gutierrez, and so a nice Nationals next weekend. For the first time, Alicia, in 6 years, we've got a #1 overall seed not named Oklahoma. So Texas, the #1 overall seed here in the field. And it's been a while. This is Jace Jackson leading it off for the Tigers. And the top half of the second, she's by far their most dangerous hitter, was the SWAC tournament MVP.
She's just strong. Every time she swings, even in practice yesterday, watching her hit ground balls, those balls were just flying off of her barrel.
Called third strike, sits her down. That's Raylan Chafin's second punch out. One away in the second.
Raylan Chafin having success early. This curveball in the outer half catches Jace looking.
Yeah, too close there to take with a couple of strikes. Gabby Willis. She's the freshman in the 5-hole today for Jackson State. LSU scores a first-inning run. However, Kalia Gibson in right field for the Jackson State Tigers throws a runner out, trying to score around third at the plate to retire the side in the home first. It was a brilliant play.
That was just textbook softball. In the outfield, we talked about the first game having a defensive clinic, but Gibson just with her arm, I mean, a strong throw right to home plate, shutting LSU down.
There's Gibson, the freshman in right field this year for Jackson State. Just a banner season for the Tigers. 3-1 is Japanese for a strike. Chafin had tried to pound the inside portion of the zone against Willis this at bat. Third season with the program for Chafin. 52nd career appearance. 3-2 is fouled away. Now, she did start 14 games this year behind Berzon and Lynch. 69 strikeouts in 80 2/3 innings. So about a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk rate. Payoff pitch coming to Willis. Oh, it's a 1-out walk for Jackson State. So these JSU Tigers, they've drawn a pair of walks here. First time through against Chafin.
Talked about earlier in the first game, so much dew, so much moisture in the air, humidity. Archer on Cal was having trouble gripping the ball, as was Orange. Wonder if that'll be a trend in this game with how much rain that we got overnight and the potential for more to come throughout the day.
I mean, it is very warm, and yeah, we've got a near 100% humidity today in Baton Rouge. That's fouled back. This is Beja Allen, a sophomore DP for Jackson State. I mean, we'll have temperatures north of 90 for sure all weekend. Oh, it's fisted foul, so Chafin's got a couple of strikes on the hitter here.
I love that we're sitting in the booth and not on the field right now. Got a little AC working.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable. Aren't you up here?
Feeling good.
Chafin's 1-2. That's fought off once again. So Allen and several Jackson State hitters in this inning, they have fouled off a couple of Chafin pitches.
I will say they're aggressive. And that's one thing that they talked about. They're not afraid of the number 9 seeds. They're not afraid of anybody. They just go up there, play their game, play like Jackson State.
It's a Jackson State team that went unblemished in their conference tournament last week. Double elimination format. They went 4-0, and it beat Florida A&M in consecutive days to win the championship. 2-2 is high and away. That throw is behind the runner over at first, Willis. So the count has gone from 1-2 to now a full count. And I think Pleasance just loaned Chafin her towel again just to get a better grip on the ball.
Gotta stay dry. Let's see if she goes to her rosin. Ensure that getting sweat whipped away.
Swing and a miss. Good off speed. That gets Allen, and there's 2 gone.
Third strikeout of the day of Chafin. Just a flamethrower. High 60s. Just piecing this ball in the outer corner. Another strikeout for Chafin. A really great start for her in the circle.
Yeah, it's 3 punch outs now. This is Julie Lopez. Takes that on the inside corner for a strike. Yeah, it's a career high strikeouts this year for Chafin. 10 wins, also the most in a single season for the junior. And it was a very competitive pitching room, if you will, with the addition of the veteran Kelly Lynch. It has been primarily been, Sydney Brazon, Lynch, and then Chafin. 0-2. That one's hitting the air out to left. So this one chases Newland back along the line. And that's 2 scoreless innings of work for Chafin.
A few, and what she's done with this program is very notable.
And so for a second straight year, they are home once again as a national seed. They've been a national seed seemingly every year the last decade. This is Macy Bergeron, number 7 hitter, to lead things off against Victoria Salazar, one of the better pitchers in the SWAC this year. And this Tigers team feels like they certainly are built to maybe get back to Oklahoma City for the first time since 2017. That was their last World Series appearance.
I think even before that, this team has just gotten their eyes set on winning each game. Last year, kind of having a heartbreaker in the regional. This year, just really looking to get back to supers.
They got knocked out last year here in their regional against a Louisiana team that had to beat them twice on that Sunday a year ago. And so a group that's perhaps motivated by the sting of how last year ended. Little dribbler over to Alvarez, so there's 1 away in the second. Brings up Madison Manning, the freshman who is the DP today. Manning's played a good bit of third base as well. Third base has been a bit of an adventure, if you will, since Danica Coffey went down in March.
Her story's pretty interesting. Her first game of this year was against Tennessee. Had to pull her red shirt, needed her in the infield because of that injury that Danica Coffey had with her ACL. So needless to say, she got the call.
Well, and Tarina has spoke glowingly about her. She's improved greatly, especially defensively, as this year has progressed. Just the 13th game of the year for Manning, the freshman from West Monroe, Louisiana. And so Salazar falls behind to another batter here. The count's 3-0.
To your point about Manning, Coach said that I had depth, but she just wasn't ready yet, like you said, defensively. Now, delivering.
So it's a 1-out walk for LSU. 4 base runners for the LSU Tigers. I think we'll have to go JSU Tigers, LSU Tigers. We've got Tigers against Tigers today. Carly Petty, the number 9 hitter, due up.
They're hunting. I think Jackson State went to see the Tiger.
Not on enemies. Not with the enemy looking, if you will.
Yeah, maybe another time. Probably whispered to him.
There was a gate open down the line. So Beth Tarina went and shut it. Luckily not Mike the Tiger's gate was not open.
No, that would we've already got enough Tigers out here. We don't need another.
Yeah, luckily we're we're a few blocks away should anything unforeseen happen. Petty, remember, spent the first few years of her career at Oklahoma State. Rolls that one over to first. Alvarez makes the play. So 2 out. Manning moves into scoring position. So LSU manufacturers are running the first. One time through the order, nothing hit too terribly hard off of Salazar.
I think she's just mixing extremely well. I mean, that's what you're going to see from her. That's what you can expect from Salazar. She's got that change, that screw, that curve. Has worked on her drop a ton in this offseason. She likes to shake things up. Does a good job at keeping these batters off their toes. But when you're facing a lineup more than once, 2-3 times, you kind of have to reinvent yourself and figure out how to get batters out in different ways.
This one's lined into center. Stevens coming on to make the play.
All morning with rain overnight.
I've seen a couple of vigilante mascots around here. There's several fans wearing the Tiger head.
I just hope he gets a break.
There's active tryouts
goes to the bathroom or something so he can get some air in there, some ventilation.
So this Tigers team made quite a bit of noise this year. Christina Carlson leads off for Jackson State. 33 wins for the Lady Tigers. That is a program record. There you go. Watch your step. And the 16-8 SWAC record was the best ever. 0-2 on the way from Chafin. Good spot that time. Got Carlson chasing after it. So now 4 punch-outs for Raylan Chafin. Samaya Huckabee up next.
That curveball we talked about in the open, just really dominant, that downward tail. Gets you to swing over it, and that's exactly what Carlson just did.
I think you've seen that face from a hitter before.
Just
waving a miss.
Disappointment. It's hard when you're facing a pitcher like Chafin, who can move the ball on both sides of the plate really well, but predominantly curveball here thus far. Got to be able to let the ball find its way through the zone instead of trying to pull it too much. I'd almost try to go oppo and try to take this ball up the middle of the infield or to right field.
Huckabee, very speedy number 9 hitter, tried to bunt her way on. You saw Manning was charging from third and Gutierrez from first. Oh, 2 on the way to Huckabee. Just a tad inside.
Glad she got out the way, not wearing any protective gear on that elbow. That one definitely would have stung.
Huckabee, the senior, waiting on the 1-2. Here it is. It's fouled back to the net. Couple of walks for Jackson State in the first and second innings, though Chafin has punched out 4 as well. First time all year Jackson State is facing a power conference team, let alone a ranked squad, of course, in LSU. There's a 1-2. Outside corner, just a tad off. You know, it looked like Brad Newton, our home plate umpire, had flinched. Looked like he was about to ring her up.
I don't know, Kevin. This is, you know, it's a really good pitch, but I think just a little bit too low.
So Huckabee fights off another pitch.
Bajaran did a really great job at framing that last pitch. Almost made me believe that it was above the knees. But a good call by the home plate umpire. I want that, though, as a pitcher. My pitcher heart wants that for Chafin.
Well, good job by the senior here, Huckabee, not to chase. That's how Carlson just went down previously. On that breaking pitch, tailing away from the righty. So now a payoff. Maybe, no play that time for Gutierrez.
And that's just maturity and discipline in Huckabee. See the LSU players goofing around over there. But in Huckabee, that's just discipline. She saw that pitch on the outer half, a little bit low, called a ball. Same exact location the next pitch, lays off of it, knowing that it's going to be called a ball.
9th pitch of the at-bat, and Huckabee works the walk. So remember, the Women's College World Series, it returns to Oklahoma City May 30th. Somebody wake him up before then. First pitch, game 1, noon Eastern, ESPN. Line drive, caught, and a double play. Carly Petty makes the snag, and they are a national seed once again, meaning you get to host at least a regional for the 8th time out of the last 9 tournaments. That is remarkable consistency. I mean, that is a standard.
A standard, I think, is the perfect word for it. They know what they can do. They set goals, try to accomplish them every single season, but just the standard, the talent that they foster, doing the little things right. I mean, talked about it in our meetings. They take great pride in everything that they do, and in specific, you have Sierra Briggs in the box right now. We talked a little bit about Outfield University and just the little things that make them great, that they just take great pride in. So that's the standard, I think, throughout the course.
Sierra Briggs tried to drop the bunt down a couple of times against Victoria Salazar. Well, especially on the heels of a pretty spirited run to the SEC tournament semis last weekend in Auburn. The energy level is very high. And this program continues to grow. You know, that they are such a disciplined, focused, do everything right bunch. Sometimes SEC play can play tricks on you mentally, if you will.
Absolutely. It's a tough conference.
Yeah, it's so difficult. You go 500 in league play, and you go, well, wait a second. We started 24-0. 500 ball, that's not us. But against that league, very impressive.
And they're just hard workers. We talked to Coach Beth Torina yesterday, and they just take everything seriously, their work. But what she's really trying to get them to do is continue to have fun like they were in that really long streak they had early in the season. Said she wants them to act like they're having a party in the dugout. Their motto is "can't beat crazy." So she encourages them to have fun, let loose, play their game, because she already knows that they're gonna do the work, put in the time, so to just have fun while doing it.
First pitch on the way to Taylor Pleasance. That one's in the dirt. Pleasance flew out to center in the first.
This team is extremely competitive. Got a chance to talk to Taylor Pleasance as well. Told us a little bit about their extracurricular activities.
Another nice play by Alvarez at first. So 2 gone here for Salazar in the 3rd.
The team loves to play cards. They have a designated card deck holder, which I think is a box that one person brings along with them for every road game. Play cards any chance that they get. Told me they love to play the game Palace. I haven't done the research on the rules just yet, but said it's got really serious and really heated in those games.
I just want to get in on some of these Uno battles. I mean, there are some pretty intense Uno games, it sounds like.
Yeah.
You're right. There is a major responsibility that comes along with keeping track of the bag of cards when the team goes on the road.
I think it's just a fun escape and just a common ground that this team has found. They all love to play games, play cards. And they also make little games within the game when they play on the field. So I thought that was a fun tidbit. I don't see a lot of players just talking about their love for cards.
Off the end of the bat, Gutierrez grounds out. How about a 1-2-3, 11-pitch 3rd inning for Victoria? After 3 innings, 1-0 LSU. We've got Kevin Montgomery, the 6th-year head coach at Jackson State, joining us here for a minute. Coach, we appreciate the time. We'll get to what Salazar has done in the circle in a moment, but you told us yesterday the culture within this program at an all-time high. How would you describe how this program, this team, won a school record 33 games this year and has reached this stage? How did you guys do it?
Oh, man, we just believed in each other the whole time. And, you know, anytime we got adversity, we just handled it on the field. You know, we just try to make sure everything we do, we take care of it out here in between these white lines. And that just, you know, translated all the way through the whole season.
And Coach, a really solid outing by Salazar this far, 3 innings. What have you seen from her today?
She's not able to really grip the ball really well right now, so she's struggling a little bit, but she's still finding it and making them swing at pitches that she wanted them to swing at. So that's keeping us in the game. Our defense played good defense behind her as long as we can keep her throwing those balls and making them hit it where we want to hit it.
Yes, your defense has. So, Coach, we appreciate you taking a moment here. Good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it.
Coach.
Yeah, LSU has put a number of balls into play. You know, Alvarez has made a couple of nice plays over at first. Stevens ran down a fly ball in center. And so Jackson State begins the 4th down a run. That's it. Corners of the infield starting to pinch in against Kalia Gibson. She takes a strike from Raylan Chafin.
Gibson in the first inning had such a strong throw, took me out of my seat. Great assist in right field to get an LSU runner out at home plate, keep that lead down to 1.
Yeah, an absolute strike to throw Raylene Gutierrez out at the plate on a base hit to right field. And that was critical. That was the first inning, and you know, the wheels were starting to turn there for LSU. They went single, single, walk, single, and, you know, that outfield assist retired the side in the first and cut the run short. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, in that moment, LSU knew that Jackson State didn't come to play today.
So check this play out. This was on the Mackenzie Rudity base hit. You got a runner wheeling around third here. Fielded cleanly, a strike, and on target. Christina Carlson's like, this is routine with Gibson. Swing and a miss. She goes down on strikes. That's the 5th punch out now for Chafin, who has done a fine job. She's allowed just 3 walks and not a single hit yet.
That ball just upspin through the zone, getting Gibson to just swing under it. She's really getting a lot of whiffs today, isn't she?
That's 5. This one's lying down the line off of Mia Alvarez's bat. The number 3 hitter due up for Jackson State here.
They just have so much depth in the circle. We talked about Kelly Lynch, predominantly up in the zone, coming from Washington. Dynamic between her and Berzon, who's more down in the zone, their hard stuff. Then you have Chafin, goes east to west, but can make the ball shake and move, and can't throw that ball up in the zone with how her ball spins with her screwball. It's a lot of dynamic. See some activity in the bullpen with Berzon.
She's trying to strike out a 6th hitter here. It may be a simple one to bring up here, but when you're just trying to get an advantage against a hitter, how critical is that? Moving from either side of the plate, up and down in the zone, not trying to be predictable.
Just utilizing your tools. We talked about it a little bit with Salazar on the other side of the ball. Being able to use your tools, figure out how to get people out in different ways so that you aren't predictable. But she has different tools that she can use, different speeds.
That's now 6 strikeouts for Raylan Chafin. 2 gone in the 4th.
We talk about her tools. This one, another screwball, low and outside. She's really hot today with those strikeouts. commanding her pitches through the zone early and often. That is 6 straight first pitch strikes and 6 strikeouts for the junior.
Well, the only other batter she got looking at a called third strike was right here, Jace Jackson, the cleanup hitter, takes that fastball there for strike 1. And that was the same pitch she got her looking at to start the second. Jackson, dangerous hitter, 45 RBIs this year. It's top 5 in the SWAC.
I've crossed paths with her before. Florida girl, had to talk a little bit about that. Grew up in the same area. Coach Montgomery said that he recruiting heavy in Florida. Got a lot of talent down there. You see a lot of rosters filled up with some Florida talent.
He's been recruiting in your neck of the woods, Orlando metropolitan area.
I'd love to see it.
Jackson charges that one foul. It's into the bullpen down the right field line. So she hit the walk-off double, Jackson did, in the second game of their SWAC tournament against Albany State. Pardon me, Alabama State. Went 6 for 16 in the tournament, hit a home run as well.
I think it's impressive how she doesn't necessarily turn all the way, get her hip all the way cleared through the ball, and she still just has so much power behind her balls. Even that foul ball to the right side had a lot of pop on it.
So what does Chafin have here? Jackson tops it foul, is able to fight it off to stay alive. 2-2 foul down the line. Did Coach have a play here? Makes a nice one. Rudity makes that catch. Such Beth Torino. Coach, we really appreciate you taking a moment here. So 4 innings for Raylan Chafin. Hasn't pitched in 12 days, but 6 strikeouts here. How would you describe her effectiveness today?
I think she's doing a good job, exactly what we need her to do. Just, you know, making sure they stay off balance and giving our defense an opportunity to make some plays. Exactly what we need today.
Coach, Salazar's having a really good outing in the circle. What do you guys need to do in order to get some momentum right now in the box?
Yeah, I think the challenge here between innings in the huddle was just to get out a different way. You know, we keep doing the same thing, so just to make an adjustment, get out a different way. And, you know, as soon as you see us do something different, where you're going to see us celebrating, I hope, because just trying to get out a different way at this point.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking a minute here. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you look at how LSU has fared here against Salazar. So Salazar retires the side in order in the 3rd, all via the ground out. There's only been one LSU Tiger to be retired via an air out. And there's the line so far for Salazar.
45 pitches in 3 innings, 3 hits, and that all came from the first inning.
Yep.
She said, get out a different way, she told her team. 6 ground outs, only 2 flyouts. So I guess that's their plan moving forward. Just figure out how to get a line drive, maybe. Well, celebrate that even if they get out.
Yeah, and Coach is, you know, she's a pretty witty one there. You know, the celebration perhaps if and when that does happen. You got Allie Newland. Yeah, that'll do. Well struck single up the middle, and she is on to start the 4th.
Talk about how hard that Allie Newland swings. Another ground ball, but this one does get through the middle of the field. LSU talked about momentum. This should give them some with no outs. Allie Newland on first.
First pitch fouled away by Mackenzie Rudity. Rudity was the one who singled in the first. Out to right field, but then Gibson threw out a runner trying to score around third at the plate. So that is a good way to start the fourth with a leadoff base runner here for LSU. The winner of this one advances to face Southern Illinois. That's tomorrow in the first game of the day. It's the battle of the winners. And so Newland is going to move up to second. Counts 3 balls and a strike.
Can hear the crowd getting louder as the game goes. Trying to give some energy to LSU.
That's low, ball 4. And so a pair of runners on to start this 4th inning for LSU. So Allie Newland with a pretty impressive base hit to start this inning. I thought this was her cleat. How about this? She makes the catch on the shin guard, goes flying over her shoulder. That's a no-look catch.
Some good hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, the dexterity.
Or no-eye coordination.
This one's rolled over to short. With field, Lopez throws Bergeron out at the bag. Runners advance, though. Always a tough play for a fielder when you have the runner sprinting in front of you.
Yeah, my first thought was make contact with her. It's interference if a fielder is going for a ground ball and runner's in their way or makes contact with them. You see here Allie Newland is running to third base, but Lopez just kind of sticks behind that running lane instead of going and creating contact. In that case, Allie Newland would have been out on that. Now runner only on second base and first base instead of second and third in running position, scoring position, excuse me.
Yep. Madison Manning at the plate. Walked in the second, but was left stranded. Slow tapper to the right side. Jackson Stahler could see the run to get the out. So it's 2-0 LSU.
That's the difference. We talked about where the runners would have been or could have been, but really good job, really productive out by Manning. Didn't get out a different way, but still allowed an LSU Tiger to get in, scoring another run.
And let's see if Carly Petty can plate Rudity from third. You know, outside of that Newland base hit, through just about 4 innings, there hasn't been that many hard hit balls, or hard hit base hits, I should say, against Salazar.
I think Salazar is not gonna blow it past you, but she is spinny. She's gonna hit her spots. I even saw Petty kind of scoot up in the box on this last pitch because that last one was outside. She tried to pull it. You could see her front shoulder kind of spewing out a little bit. I think if they're gonna be more successful off of Salazar, they're gonna need to try to do exactly what Allie Newland did, try to hit the ball up the middle so they can keep that shoulder in.
She has kept it pretty consistently low in the zone, does not get the call there on the outside corner against this Tigers team. Salazar with one of several complete game wins in that SWAC tournament last week. This time she finds the outside corner.
Looks very, very familiar. That last one was within the strike zone. That's what's tough about being a pitcher, is you've got to distinguish what that is early in the game, and sometimes it could even change.
Ripped foul down the line. in what amounted to the semifinal of their SWAC tournament last week. Salazar with a 7-inning complete game in the win against Florida A&M. Allowed just 4 hits through 99 pitches. That was on the heels of a 6-inning performance against Southern. Another victory to open up the tournament. So she and her teammate Sofia Gonzalez, they both were excellent in the circle. And so Gonzalez is someone who we'll likely see at some point this weekend. Up and away, so the count goes full here with 2 out in the 4th.
Yeah, Salazar and Gonzalez kind of jokingly called them the two-headed monster of this Jackson State program, having most of their innings.
Backhand try from Huckabee, couldn't field it cleanly, and another LSU run scores. So Petty's base hit knocks in Rudity, 3-0. A little 2-out hitting here.
Yeah, and we talked about that outside pitch, not trying to roll over, does just enough to get this ball up the middle. Huckabee going to her knees, just can't secure the ball, but you can see them making adjustments already. If they're going to hit ground balls, they might as well find a hole, and that's exactly what Petty did, in following in the footsteps of Allie Newland.
Also, now you see the conversation that Beth Torina has with her players. Sierra Daniel is up next. Kevin Montgomery was just out in the circle for Jackson State. Kevin Montgomery took us down memory lane yesterday. He goes, oh yeah, I coached here once before. He was previously the head man at Alcorn State. He was here with Alcorn State back in 2012. It was a close game, 2-0 LSU win. That was in Beth Torina's second year as a head coach. LSU with 2 runs home here in the 4th. Swing, and that one's looped back to Salazar, and she gloves it. So Daniels retired, and so are the LSU Tigers in the 4th, though they, one very interesting number there on the line score, and there it is, the first hit of the day for Jackson State. So Gabby Willis has the first one after 4 no-hit innings for Raylan Chafin. It's a 3-0 game here in the 5th.
Yes, it is. This pitch, a little bit low, but left over the heart of the plate. Willis just puts her bat to it just enough to get into shallow right for their first hit. Broke it wide open.
Throw down behind the runner there. That was the second baseman, Petty, who came over to cover the bag. They had the first baseman charging that time. So Beja Allen trying to give herself up to move the runner over. It's a 3-0 game here in the 5th. Allen pops it foul. So the count evens at a ball and a strike. Now Jackson State has had a runner on base in now 4 of their 5 innings, though they haven't had a runner in scoring position against Chafin.
And if there's any time, the time is now. Leadoff runner on. Got Allen trying to play textbook softball by putting a bunt down, getting over to second. Still an opportunity to do so with the count being 1-1. Just love their fight. They've been swinging it all game.
Defensively, they have been pretty excellent against LSU. Now the LSU Tigers, they just scored 2 in the bottom of the 4th. So this was a 1-run game for a few innings. But for Jackson State, leadoff runner on in a 3-run game here in the 5th against the number 9 national seed. This is a very important opportunity. Another foul, and so the count stays a ball and 2 strikes. We had the Pac-12 team that was in our regional here. Cal fall to Southern Illinois earlier today.
What a game that was. mean, just punching each other, like coming back and back. Those hits.
This one is looped. The runner's got to get back, and it was dropped by Gutierrez at first. So Petty makes the catch. Willis, boy, just had enough time to recognize that she had to get back to first. And I think if Gutierrez catches this one, she may very well have been doubled up. That was pretty close.
Gives her a new life over there. A catch by Petty. I think you might be right on that one.
Petty was very quick with the transfer. This one struck off the end of Julie Lopez's bat. 2 gone, and so you just see how quickly things can turn. Remember, Allen was trying to get the bunt down, couldn't do it. And so now 2 out. And it's Christina Carlson's turn to do something here for Jackson State.
Sacks are so important at any level, whether you're playing T-ball. Well, I guess you can't bunt up a T, but in Little League, travel ball, whatever it is, just extremely important, especially in situations like these. Only have 1 hit on the day, no outs. You've got to be able to put down a sack to get a runner in scoring position, because something else might happen.
I suppose you could bunt off the tee.
Yeah, I guess you could. Maybe a little drag bunt from the left side. I don't know. Throw one for a loop.
May need a running start for that one. 2-0. That's
Throw me
fouled
for
away.
a loop. If I was playing third base and someone bunted it off the T-ball, be astonishing. Did you play T-ball growing up?
Oh, yeah.
You did?
Now, my full swings amounted to what would look like bunts off of the tee.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, yeah.
It's okay.
Right back to the circle, inning over. So that's an 11-pitch inning for Rick in 2015. All right, so how many points? Again, the players can earn points. You can lose points. You did a whole lot of earning points.
Yeah.
Led the Athletes Unlimited. You were a captain.
Really fun experience, unconventional, really exciting, engaging way of scoring a softball game. If you love softball, you'll love Athletes Unlimited, you'll love AUX, so make sure to stay tuned and turn ESPN on over the summer and watch some really great softball played by the pros.
Bottom of the 5th inning here. And it starts with a 4-3 putout. Briggs is retired. Salazar's got 1 gone here in the 5th. So I'm looking back to our first game. Southern Illinois with a 5-4 win over Cal. So how many points do you get if you're Maddie Groff? A little CG action, complete game win. How many points would that have been worth?
Quite a few with how well she did that game. There's a numerous amount of ways to get points in Athletes Unlimited. So I could imagine that she got a whole bunch, and she'd be the MVP, so that's even more under her belt. Look at that.
Very much, it's very important there. Taylor Pleasant 0 for 2 today. Back at the dish. Well, Hope Alley would have had a 40-point at bat in the 2nd inning. She was the only player today in our regional to go yard. It's a 2-run blast to dead center. Boy, Victoria Salazar here. I heard you describe her as very spinny earlier today. And she, there has not been much hard hit off of Salazar today. Now, granted, LSU still has 3-0 lead. But there have been a lot of ground outs off of these LSU bats.
I think the word for Salazar in the circle is crafty. Just her ability to hit spots, move the ball east to west. Again, not going to blow it by you, but you don't need that. You need to be multi-dimensional, being able to hit your spots, being able to have finesse, and that's exactly what she's been doing. 9 ground outs as opposed to 3 fly outs. Coach Beth Torino wanted her team to get out a different way besides hitting the ball on the ground.
Yeah, that's a pretty significant disparity at this stage of the game. 2-2 again, down in the zone once again. That's where a lot of Salazar's offerings have been. 3rd year with the program. She's from Phoenix. She started at UTEP, spent her rookie season there. But this year, you know, undoubtedly her career breakout season. Swing and a fly into shallow left. Willis has it lined up. And so there's 2 away in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, there you have it. Another way that an LSU Tiger got out. Not the outcome that Pleasance was expecting. Now 0 for 3. But I love the celebration, the celly, as we call them, in left field by Willis.
This Jackson State team plays very sharp defense. Gibson threw a runner out at the plate earlier. Alvarez has made some nice stops at first.
That's just
Stevens,
a testament
Willis,
to their work.
yeah, yep.
We were in the lounge. We could watch the teams yesterday, and just how much time they spent on the little things. It took about 20 to 30 minutes just doing rollers, doing partner rollers within their team. So for them, and really for anybody, defense is going to win you championships. That's exactly what that did in the SWAC.
First championship, 13 years. That was the last time they were in this tournament. 1, 2, 3 inning for Salazar. So 5 innings for the righty to take down a 35-win team out of the Pac-12. So the winner of this one will face Groff and the Salukis, a very determined SIU team tomorrow. And that first pitch would be 12 local, 1 Eastern. And so this one a little tighter maybe than some would have expected. 6 innings in. Raylan Chafin back in the circle. She has been electric at times. 6 strikeouts. And she has held Jackson State to just 1 hit. So LSU right now, Alicia, they're 6 outs away from advancing to face SIU.
They are.
And who?
They talk about the depth that they have in the circle, and Chafin, just options. You've got Kelly Lynch, you've got Chafin, you've got Berzon leading the charge. But then when you have somebody who's performing like this, especially going into postseason, I mean, can't ask for anything more.
This is off of Samaya Huckabee's bat, the number 9 hitter.
I feel him.
Boy, he's getting booed. Don't worry, he's on your side. It's a whole lot more purple and gold than Jackson State Navy.
He's better than me. I would have just slid down there and grabbed the ball.
He's getting some boos even for the effort. Meanwhile, the count goes even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It will turn on you pretty quick. So if you're Southern Illinois tomorrow, there's one question that we will face here. You go back to Groff, right, in the circle?
I would. You've got to ride your ace. Everly has had a lot of experience, but Groff just has so much momentum with what she did in the circle today.
3-2, lofted into left. That's a base hit. Huckabee, not the widest turn around first. It was fielded quickly by Briggs. So there's a leadoff single for Jackson State, and it's a 2nd straight inning where they've got the leadoff batter on, and now you go back to the top of the order.
Huckabee is just so athletic. You've seen what she's done at second base today. Takes this pitch on the inner part of the plate. Newland just cannot get her glove on it. 2nd hit of the day for Jackson State. It's been good momentum. 0 outs. Seen this before.
Mari Stevens, leadoff hitter, takes a strike on the inside corner. Caught just enough of that edge. Well, we said this an inning ago when they got the leadoff runner on. The time is now to strike. Down just 3 runs. There's the 0-1. Swing. That one's lofted shallow center. In comes the 2-time Gold Glove Award winner. So 1 out in the 6th.
surprised they didn't go with a sack that at bat. Tried for it last time, wasn't able to get it down. Now left that runner on first base. Like I said, a familiar situation. Now you have Mari up.
This is Kalia Gibson. Runner took off, not throw, not in time. So Huckabee steals another base as she's third on the team with those now 21 stolen bases. And she has put herself in scoring position.
We talk about her athleticism at second base in the box with that hit, but how about her speed? Unafraid, taking second base.
Well, she has been ruled out because the call is she left the bag early. And I think that was ruled on the field by the umpire over there at first. Yes, he signals.
That was pretty clear to the eye. Now we've got two leaving early in 2 games.
That is a critical snafu here in the 6th inning for Jackson State.
Got a lot of eyes on the bases with 4 umpires today. One at every base.
You know, I believe it was Lyndon Baptiste who's over there at first. Our first base umpire, he was the one who called it in our first game earlier today, and he was on it both times.
Got the eye of the tiger, pun intended.
Hey-o.
The Tigers, plural, actually.
And remember, the left early call in the first game was at a critical time as well. You know, 1-run win for SIU.
Just a heartbreaker. Had Ali at second base, leaving early. That run could have been the difference in that ball game.
It's lined foul into the Tigers' dugout.
And man, I love how Jackson State is playing. I said unafraid earlier, but that's the exact word that I want to use when I speak about them. They're just going up there and taking hacks, hitting the ball hard, whether it's fair or foul.
Waving a miss, inning over. Performance from Raylan Chafin. She has a career-high 7 strikeouts today. Meanwhile, Victoria Salazar, the ace of this Jackson State staff. Alicia, she's only allowed the 3 runs through 5 innings. For LSU, it's 5, 6, and 7 due up. Allie Newland gets things going here in the 6th. Line drive up the middle. That's a base hit. It actually ricocheted off of Mike Hernandez. The umpire is part of the field of play. I mean, he was trying his best to get out of the way there. Huckabee almost had a play to throw Newland out at first base, perhaps.
I mean, we talk about Newland and now she just swings so hard every single time. This one almost took off Salazar's head, hitting the umpire. How often did we see that?
Now Huckabee, look, she was ready to field it, though Alvarez may not have been on the bag. So first pitch misses away here to Mackenzie Rudity.
Nothing hurt, in my opinion. Allie Newland, I think, would have gone to first base regardless, whether it went to the outfield or not. But
runner on the move, throw to second is just late. Stolen base for Newland.
a good throw by Carlson behind the plate, but Newland's speed reminds me of the first inning with Briggs, her bunt, and then her steal, and a base hit RBI by Raylene Gutierrez. That's how they scored their first run of the game. Trying to get some more insurance.
3-0 down and away, so 2 Tigers on here in the 6th.
I think we'll start to see a different LSU team this inning. Coach Beth Tarina said, once we get out a different way, it's going to look a little bit different on the field. And that hit by Allie Newland wasn't an out, but she struck it and hit a line drive. She tells me she's finding the bottom a little bit more as opposed to the top and hitting ground balls. And you see that walk, leaving that ball down in the zone by Salazar. That's why she's been successful. We talked about her drop. She's worked on it in the offseason, really utilizing it today, keeping her pitches low in the zone. That's why she's able to acquire so many.
There's a roller, potential DP. No, that one was not handled by Lopez. Just rolled up, hit her in the chest, and now the bases are loaded after the error.
And we saw this play a little bit earlier. Lopez at shortstop, hitting a ground ball. I think the runner, Allie Newland, got in her line of vision. Same thing happened earlier with Allie Newland running to third base. I think she should have tried to make some contact, get some interference on that, get another out, and runners would have been left on first and second on that interference call.
So you got Giglio now coming in as a pinch runner, and we're going to have a pinch hitter at the plate. Abigail Savoy will step in for Madison Manning. Now the Tigers are trying to bust this thing open. No outs. And the bottom of the 6th inning. Salazar has to tighten up here. So Savoy off the bench and into the game.
.500 batting average. Only 1 home run, 2 RBIs on the season.
Yeah, well, this is only your 3rd at-bat of the year, so 1 hit and 2 at-bats. And, you know, the lone hit is the home run, to your point.
Still 500, I must say.
Yeah, maybe the home run specialist. You do so here, it's going to change the complexion of this one. That's down the middle for a strike. I mean, if you're Savoy, you got to weigh the ramifications here. Right now, the slugging percentage is 2,000. Coach calls your name, so I don't know, Coach. I'm pretty good with where the slugging percentage is. That's going to bring a run in, so it's 4-0. And the bottom of the 6th inning, first out here for Jackson State. So Savoy plays Newland, and she does her job. Runity moved to 3rd. And then Giglio to 2nd.
A little surprised that the infield wasn't playing in on that last play to try to get a force out at home.
First pitch swinging. That one bounces and actually made contact with the on-deck hitter, Sierra Daniels. She was able to duck out of the way, but it bounced up on her left shoulder. Dan, I think many are asking, you all right? I'm okay. Petty, meanwhile, 1 for 2 today. She brought in a run in that 4th inning. So LSU scored 1 in the 1st and then 2 more in the 4th. Salazar coming home with a 2-1. That one's fisted over to first. Foot race to the bag. That brings home another run, though there are 2 outs. So you can see every game, every big moment on the road to the Women's College World Series. You can find that on ESPN Plus at any time. Some live look-ins, analysis, breakdown from all of our sites. We've had some interesting scores play out, and we're, what, only halfway through the first day. Well, safety squeezes on there, or Daniels was trying to bunt her way on and perhaps bring a run home. Giglio is the lone runner left on here for LSU over at third. Daniel 0 for 3 today. Swings, pops it up. Salazar makes the play. So it's 5-0, and Jackson State is down to its final 3.
He's just letting the ball move through the zone with her curveball, her screwball. Kind of has some upward tail on it, getting some batters to swing through on it, but also utilizing that changeup. Thrown 6 innings, only allowed 2 hits, 7 Ks, a season high. Tied with it at least.
Yep, matches what she did against Pittsburgh in her first appearance of the year. That was her first complete game shutout. It was a 7-0 win back on February 10th. Scattered 3 hits that day. She also posted a complete game shutout against Houston in late February as well. But she's going for a new season-high strikeouts. More importantly, she's 3 outs away from vaulting LSU to the Battle of the Winners tomorrow. That would be at 1 Eastern, 12 local here in Baton Rouge against Southern Illinois. That looked like a very fearless mid-major force earlier today in its 5-4 win against Cal.
We're talking about Rylan Chafin's strikeouts, but I really want to talk about her glove. I mean, look how beautiful that is. Almost looks like an ice cream cone. Got some blonde in there, some pink to accent, and a pink on the inside as well. Really nicely done. A little gradient on the Wilson logo as well. Shout out to Wilson. Just love the ability to have some individuality on the field with customizing gloves. Being able to decide what color you want, what you want to put on it. I'm going to have to ask Rylan Chafin what she has on her glove. Just the ability to just be an individual amongst a team and still bring that aspect to you.
3-2 down the line, long run. Newland makes the catch in foul ground, and they're 2 outs away from a win.
And Outfield U has done it again. Took so much pride in their outfield. Arguably one of the best outfields in the country.
Newland, all defensive teamer. Yeah, Briggs has got 2 gold gloves in her locker.
Love to hear about that one. I asked her, and she was extremely humble when talking about her gold gloves too. I said, well, where are they right now? And she told me they're in her locker. Actually, you know what? Beth Torena told her to tell us where the gloves were because she was so humble about it.
Jackson hit it hard, scooped up by Manning. Wide throw, but yeah, Gutierrez held the bag. 2 gone. Yeah, right on cue.
Jackson, talk about her strength, just hitting this hard. But a really great job by Manning. Suck it up and make a throw to first base. Athletic play over there by Gutierrez.
And one out away now. This one flared into shallow right. Game over. It's a complete game shutout, the third of her season for Raylan Chafin. And so she guides LSU to the battle of the winners tomorrow. That is the first game of the day. And the Tigers will face the Southern So you can see every game, every big moment on the road to the Women's College World Series. You can find that on ESPN Plus at any time. Some live look-ins, analysis, breakdown from all of our sites. We've had some interesting scores play out, and we're, what, only halfway through the first day. The safety squeeze is on there, or Daniels was trying to bunt her way on and perhaps bring a run home. Giglio is the lone runner left on here for LSU over at third. Daniel 0 for 3 today. Swings, pops it up. Salazar makes the play. So it's 5-0, and Jackson State is down to its final 3 out.